The Bear Tricked by the Fox.
By Ion Creangă.
Once upon a time there was a cunning and tricky fox, just like all foxes. She was looking all night for something to eat, but she wasn't lucky enough to find a single thing. When daylight broke, the fox came to the roadside and lay down under a bush, wondering what she could do to find something to eat. Laying on the ground like that, she suddenly felt some nice smell of fish. Looking around, she saw a cart coming.
Great! Here's the meal I've been waiting for,
thought the hungry cunning fox. So she went in the middle of the road and laid down on the ground, pretending to be dead. As the cart got closer, the farmer driving the oxen saw the fox and, believing it to be truly dead, shouted,
"Whoa! Whoa!"
The oxen stopped. The farmer walked over to the fox, examined it closely, and, seeing that it wasn't breathing, said,
"Well, how on earth did this fox die here? Ha! What a beautiful fur coat I'll make for my wife out of this fox's pelt."
Saying this, he grabbed the fox by the neck, dragged it to the cart, and heaved it onto the pile of fish. Then he shouted at the oxen,
"Giddy up! Let's go!"
The oxen started moving again. The farmer walked beside them, urging them to move faster so he could get home quickly and take the fox's fur. But as soon as the cart began rolling, the fox slyly started pushing fish off the cart with her paws. The farmer kept driving, the cart creaked along, and fish kept falling onto the road. After the clever fox had tossed a good amount of fish onto the ground, she leaped off the cart, quickly gathered the fish into a pile, carried it to her den, and began eating. It had been such a long time since she'd had a meal. Just as she was about to start feasting, the bear arrived.
"Good day, dear friend. Wow! What a lot of fish you have. Give me some, please, I'm so hungry."
Ha! Forget it, dear friend. Do you think I worked so hard just to feed someone else? If you want fish, go dip your tail into the pond like I did, and you'll have plenty to eat.
"Please, teach me how to catch fish, I don't know how."
The fox grinned, baring her teeth, and said,
"Oh, dear friend, don't you know that necessity forces you to learn things you never thought possible? Listen carefully. Do you want fish? Go to the pond at the edge of the forest tonight, stick your tail into the water, and stand still without moving until morning. Then, when you feel a tug, pull as hard as you can, and you'll catch more fish than I did, maybe even 2 or 3 times as much."
Without saying another word, the bear rushed off to the pond at the forest's edge. He dipped his entire tail into the water and stood still. That night, a strong cold wind began to blow, freezing everything, even the ashes under the fire. The pond froze solid, trapping the bear's tail like a clamp. After a while, the bear, suffering from the cold and the pain in his tail, yanked as hard as he could. But instead of pulling out a haul of fish, he was left without a tail. He let out a mighty roar of pain, jumped around in agony, and, furious at the fox for deceiving him, ran off to find her and give her a good beating. But the cunning fox knew how to escape the bear's wrath. She had already left her den and had hidden inside the hollow of a tree nearby. When she saw the bear coming, tailless and angry, she called out,
"Hey, dear friend, did the fish eat your tail, or were you just too greedy and tried to take them all?"
Hearing this and realizing the fox was mocking him, the bear became even angrier and rushed toward the tree. But the hollow entrance was too narrow, he couldn't fit inside. So he grabbed a hooked branch and started poking inside, trying to pull the fox out. But whenever he caught the fox's leg, she would shout,
"Pull, fool! I don't care, you're only pulling on the tree."
And whenever the hook got caught on the tree instead, she would cry out,
"Oh no, dear friend. Stop. You're breaking my leg."
The bear struggled and sweated, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get the fox out of the hollow. And so, that's how the bear was tricked by the fox. The lesson. The bear learned an important lesson that day: never trust everything you hear without thinking for yourself. The fox was clever, but she used her intelligence to trick others for her own gain. The bear, on the other hand, was too trusting and ended up suffering because he didn't stop to question the fox's advice. This story teaches us that we should always think carefully before believing everything we are told. It's good to trust, but it's even better to use wisdom and caution. And most importantly, true cleverness should be used to help others, not to trick them. Moral: being smart is valuable, but being kind and wise is even better. The end.